It's finally happening. I'm finally working out. Look at you guys. Look, I got a squat rack. I'm so excited to have a barbell and to finally be able to use it. And I love a good dumbbell workout, but don't get me wrong, I'm excited to try something new and incorporate the barbell. Today is gonna be a glute and quad focused leg day. Injury prevention is so important, and so doing a dynamic warm-up is going to keep you injury-free, or at least aid in keeping you injury-free. I'm starting off with a barbell back squat. This is gonna be the first time I've squatted with a barbell, so bear with me as I learn technique, but everyone starts somewhere. After that, we're going into some front lunges. You can do reverse lunges, side lunges, walking lunges, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Next up are heel elevated goblet squats. These really help engage your quads. I know, everyone hates the Bulgarian split squat, but they do really help with glute imbalances, so I always make sure I incorporate them in at least one of my lower body days. You want to make sure you're pressing through the foot to engage your full quad, and the further you lean forward, the more glute activation you have. The more upright, the more quad focused it is. A leg extension movement is a great way to isolate the quadriceps and to tone and build muscle there. I definitely will up weights next week. I could have gone a lot heavier. Moving in to step ups, this again is another isolation movement where we really want to isolate one leg at a time and work on leg imbalances. Make sure you're standing straight up, ankle over knees, knees over hips, hips over chest. And then we're gonna burn it out with some donkey kicks. This movement should be initiated by the glutes. You want to engage your core and only lift the leg with your glute. I don't want to see any swinging. I don't want to see any fast movements. This movement should be very controlled. If you do not feel it, then you need to use a heavier band. And that's the end of my glute and quad focus day. I will see you guys in my next workout. Hello, I am exhausted. We're just gonna get with it to some back and shoulders. Gonna mix this guy up. Cheers. Let's get this back day going. Okay, so I'm starting off with landmine bent over rows, doing 3 sets of 10 here, and just squeezing the shoulder blades together. I went right into, yet again, another deadlift. I do several deadlifts because deadlifts are a compound movement where they work not only your legs, but they also do work your back, and it's really important to have a strong back so that you can lift heavier. So I really try to put a lot of these in my workout. And now I'm going on to some Arnold press. I started off with 20-pound dumbbells and stayed with them until my last set. Going right into lateral arm raises. These are a burner, but I'm doing 3 sets of 10 here. While I'm doing this movement, I'm really trying to think of arms out and up instead of shrugging the shoulders to initiate the movement. Next, I moved in to shoulder presses. You really want to try to control this movement and, again, prevent from shrugging your shoulders. It's totally okay if you need to go down in weights like I did. Going on to alternating bent over rows, you just want to use a bench, or you can do it on the ground, whichever one works, and you're really trying to bring elbow to the back of the wall. You don't want to tuck your elbow into your ribs. I always try to think of elbow pushing back to the wall and shoulder blades squeezing together to make sure I'm initiating the movement with my back and not my arms. I'm ending the workout with some Supermans. I did 3 sets for 30 seconds. I first did this type, and then I switched over to more of a T-shaped, and then I went into pulses. You just want to do whatever makes you feel good in whatever way you feel the burn. As you can see, in between the sets, I'm just laying there trying to breathe and relax. All right, and after your last set of Supermans, you'll be done with this shoulder and back workout. Okay, I'm really glad I'm done with that. I'm glad that I did that one. I'm not gonna lie, I was really unmotivated today. I really didn't want to do it. I'm sore, I'm tired, just feel like I have no energy, so I'm glad that I did that. I feel better now, and I feel like I can be more productive throughout my day because there's still a lot of things I need to get done. That's it for today's workout. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next workout. All right, next up is a lower body day with a ab focus. This day was really, really fun. I'm just starting off with some dumbbell sumo squats, taking them nice and slow, making sure I'm really engaging my core and using the glutes and the hamstrings. You always want to make sure your knees are pointed out to your toes and you're pushing up with your full foot on the ground. So I really, really like these as a nice warm up. Prior to beginning my workout, I did start off with a 5-minute dynamic stretch just to prime the legs and the body for the exercises we will be doing today. Moving right along to a pyramid set. So I did hip thrusts. I started off with 10 reps, then went to 8, then 6, and then went back up 8 and then 10. And moving on to reverse lunges, except this is my warm-up round. I forgot to record my actual working sets, so I apologize, but it is always good to do a warm-up round if you are starting off with a new exercise or you just want to prime those muscles. So I definitely recommend doing these and then going into your working sets. Moving right along to some flutter kicks. I did flutter kicks 3 rounds for 60 seconds. If you want to intensify this, I gave you a few options. 1, you can just hold a dumbbell and have your shoulders off the ground. 2, you can increase by doing some narrow shoulder presses. This was a burner. You can also modify this by taking your shoulders to the ground, bending your knees, things like that. So do whatever feels right to you and whatever your difficulty level may be. These were extremely painful. Moving right along to Russian twists. Again, I did 3 rounds of 60 seconds, and this type of move you can also modify or advance. I prefer to keep my feet on the ground. I tend to engage my core better and really use that transverse abdominal muscles that I want to use. If I lift my legs up, then I end up putting more strain on my muscles, and I can do it, but it's not really a controlled movement. Here you can see I modified towards the end because the burn was real, but I really wanted to make sure I kept good form. You always want to make sure that when you are doing Russian twists, you're trying to look at the other side of the wall each time. So look to the right wall, look to the left wall. Yep, these were painful, especially doing 2 ab exercises in a row. So now I'm just trying to burn out the legs a little bit with some jumping lunges. You want to make these powerful and strong. You want to make sure you're taking these nice and deep. You want a 90-degree angle with your front leg. Make sure you don't bang your knee on the ground in the back, and jump it out. We're not doing 45-degree lunges. We're going all the way down to 90 degrees. You will feel these at the end, I promise. Finishing off with a mountain climber set. So I'm gonna be doing 3 rounds of 60 seconds of mountain climbers. You can do these as fast as you'd like, or you can slow them down and do a walking march, or you can do them at an incline. I ended up doing these at an incline for my last round. Here you can see I did take a 5-second break and went right back into it. That is totally okay if you need a couple seconds to gain your strength back to finish out your sets. And we're finished. So I'm gonna be finishing off with a static cool down for 5 minutes, really making sure I'm breathing nice and deep and getting that heart rate back down to a resting heart rate. This will make a world of a difference with your results and also your ability to come back tomorrow, the next day, for another workout. You don't want to be too sore to the point where you can't finish any more workouts for the rest of the week, so make sure you take care of yourself. Good morning! I am about ready to do my pre-workout. I have been using Prolific lately in the sour peach candy. Amazing flavor. I freaking love this flavor. So I do about a scoop of this in some water, and then we'll get to working out. Today is gonna be a glutes and hamstring focused workout. The way I have most of my workouts formatted is you have 3 big compound movements in the beginning because you have the most energy in the beginning to use all of those muscles, and then from there they go to an isolation exercise, and then at the end there's a burnout with like a body weight exercise of some sorts. So that's how most, if not all of my workouts are created. Most of my workouts do have 20 to 25 good working sets, and then you rest 30 seconds in between, a minute in between, whatever you think you need to recover. And then there's good rest times in between each circuit or each like end of an exercise. That way you're well recovered, but yet not too recovered to the point where you lose that working heart rate. You want to keep your heart rate in a good working zone. So I'm excited. I'm gonna drink this and then we'll get to it. We are starting off today's glute and hamstring focused workout with some dynamic stretching. You can do whatever you want to do in this first 5 minutes. It's just to get your muscles warmed up and ready to go. These are the ones that I like to do typically for a leg workout, usually hip openers, hamstring stretches, quadricep stretches, things that really just help keep me nice and warm and increase range of motion. After that, we're gonna get some glute activation exercises out of the way. Glute activation exercises really help prime the glutes and increase your mind-muscle connection. So definitely do a few reps of these. You should feel the burn in your glutes before you start working out. The first move of the day is going to be a barbell back squat. You wanna take these nice and controlled and make sure you're bracing your core before you go down. We're doing 3 sets of 10 for deadlifts. You want to make sure you're hinging at the hip. A good cue is to think of pushing a car door shut with your butt and then driving your hips forward. Then we're going into a superset. This is going to be a barbell hip thrust supersetted with some banded body weight hip thrusts. Definitely think I can up my weights on hip thrusts, but again, this was the first time I've done a barbell hip thrust, so I wasn't sure what I could handle. I definitely think my glutes could handle a heavier plate on each side, so for next week, I will keep that in mind and up my weights accordingly. In my case, it's a dumbbell swing, but you really want to just work on doing kettlebell swings, hinging at the hips, and pushing those glutes forward. Now we're working on isolating the legs with a single leg deadlift. You want to just try to keep that front leg having most of the work there, and then that back leg can either float back or you just want to barely have your toe touching for stabilization. Ending the workout with a banded leg lift. Again, you want to make sure that you are initiating this lift with your glutes, keeping the core engaged. I try to imagine that I have a cup of tea on my back and I'm really trying to keep that back nice and still. This allows me to engage that glute and to keep the core stable. All right, workout is complete and you just want to finish off with a static cool down. You want to hold some of these stretches for a couple seconds at least. That was a good one. Whew, I am dripping in sweat. That took about a little under an hour to do my warm-up, my workout, and my cool down. The workout was great. So that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow for my next workout. Bye. Welcome to my shoulder day. This day I started off with some tricep push-ups. I tried it with the band around the arms. This keeps your elbows from spraying out and it keeps them really close to your body, but it also does give you some chest support. So if you have a hard time with tricep push-ups, I would try this version and see if it helps. Going into Arnold press, doing 4 sets of 12 here. I tried military press for the first time ever, and let me tell you, girl, this stuff is hard. I did end up switching over to dumbbells and doing shoulder press with 20-pound dumbbells. I was able to get like 4 good working sets and then had to switch out, but it's okay. We know where our goals are at now, and it's gonna be getting it with the barbell. Front raises, 4 sets of 12 here, going right into lateral raises, 4 sets of 12. And last but certainly not least, ending with reverse flies, doing 4 sets of 10 here. You want to make sure you initiate the movement with your rear deltoids and also squeezing your shoulder blades together. And that completes the end of my shoulder day. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like it, click that notification bell next to the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in another one. Bye.